When it comes to Mad Fate, it's bizarre and definitely makes a true, genuine effort to keep up a high level of energy. But as time goes on, and you're led to wonder when or if one lead may snap and kill again, or the other one may go crazy like their parents, unfortunately, it becomes a bore no matter how much blood and sensational moments it throws at you. To summarize the film, a fortune teller has recently been unable to save someone who ended up brutally murdered. Because of this, when he encounters Su Tong, who was one of the witnesses to the murder that unfortunately the fortune teller wasn't able to prevent, he believes that someone's connected them by fate, does his birth chart, and then he tries his best to change Su Tong's fate to keep him from murdering someone, especially since the person he may murder is this cop that has been on Su Tong's, I'm probably saying his name wrong, who's been on his case since he was 9 years old, and is also the factor in why Su Tong was in jail the first time and likely will be in once again. So when it comes to Mad Fate, the problem is that unfortunately it starts off very high energy, very anything can happen, and then as people get murdered and Su Tong and the fortune teller kind of begin their own descent into madness, it loses luster. For as you get to understand one character and how there's a history of mental illness in their family, and then you have another character who one of his first kills was a black cat who continues to haunt him throughout the whole film. This hour and 49 minutes you expected to go on with the two of them, it goes from seeming interesting and potentially fun to being a long and arduous journey. And part of the reason for that is that as much as you see both people are troubled, there's no real desire with this film to try to get you emotionally invested in them. Yes, it is very much established that the fortune teller is very fearful of losing his mind because he's seen his father jump out of a window, his mom eat cockroaches and other bugs, and not like in a delicacy way, but in a way that is supposed to be treated as freaky. And he doesn't want that for himself. He doesn't want to be in a straitjacket, laughing and being insane in some type of asylum. He fears that, and he is trying to change everybody's fate because if he can change their fate, he can perhaps change his own. And you would think that would drive some type of connection that would really push you to like really want to be sympathetic to his goal and his character, but it doesn't. If anything, they offset what could be an emotional story, especially for him, by having him do these silly and sometimes comical ideas. But as with most characters who, or rather actors who play these type of characters, there's this thin line between being somebody who can kind of come off campy or else ridiculous in a bad way, and trying to really hone in on somebody who's fearful of themselves and what not only they can do, but what people may perceive them as. And then when it comes to Su Tong, it's recognized that his family's afraid of him, especially his sister, because he has been off since he's a child. And when it comes to therapy and all that, that hasn't helped him. Yet, with his main fear not being killing someone but not going to jail, and it's being very clear that is his main worry, you don't really get into his character, and even in terms of relating to how the fortune teller feels that he needs to help him. If he can help him, he can perhaps solve his own issues. Unfortunately, you increasingly or decreasingly, depending how you look at it, feel an investment in this goal because Su Tong is just not the type of character that makes you want to really hope for the best. So with that, by the time an hour and 49 minutes hits, you're ready to go. Heck, before then you may be ready to go. Overall, when it comes to Mad Fate, despite depictions of murder, madness, and characters on the edge of insanity, it's very much a passable film since it goes so much for the superficial, sensational, that it forgets that there's really an emotional story at the heart of it. And unfortunately, that is just not the focus whatsoever.